Good morning, everyone. This is Tino with International Talks with Tino. We have a very special guest, Drew Gepharts, that's going to join us today. It's been a while, so I hope everyone is doing well. And I'm going to add my very special guest into the building. What's going on, Drew?
What's up, Tino?
How are you, sir?
I love the background music you got going on there.
You know, it's Happy Friday. A little bit of Childish Gambino to start the weekend. And, hanging out with you, my good friend, the first ever International Talks with Tino guest. So it's always nice to see you. It's always nice to see you.
Man, great to be back. Oh, and I see you got Starbucks.
Always. I don't go anywhere. I don't go anywhere without it.
I brewed my own Starbucks this morning. It was wonderful.
Nice, man. Nice. So, we can let the song run for a little bit. It's around 11:01. I want to be cognizant of the time. Where are you joining us from, man?
I am in Concord, California, on my deck that me and my wife decked out.
Hey.
Oh, did you just get that? We decked out our deck.
Decked out your deck. Got it.
Let me see if I can flip this around. I'll give you a little tour here of our fall. This is our front porch.
Wow. Very festive.
Look at that, man.
Nice.
How you like it?
It's beautiful, man. Very, very festive. Very festive.
And then freshly painted house. I actually painted my house.
Nice.
Put up some new numbers, and so it's funny, man. Even through this pandemic, man, getting stuff done, or more stuff done around our house than I would have gotten done if I wasn't at home.
Maybe that's a good thing. Let me put these on. Let me put these on and connect. But yeah, maybe that it's always a good thing when you get stuff done. I mean, I guess that's some benefits of being in shelter in place. Since this year our first guest on the show, also you're the first repeat guest on the show. How have you been since the last time we spoke on International Talks?
Man, how long ago was that? 3 months ago?
I think so, something like that. It was a long, long time ago in a galaxy far away. That's
Well, since that time, my daughter started kindergarten, so that's been new for our house.
Okay.
Found out that I'm going to be working from home until next May.
Okay. We know
officially.
Okay, we can touch on that a little bit later. Okay.
Next May. But I got my situation set up. I finally completed my workstation at home. I brought home my second computer, my second monitor now, so I actually have my full setup that I would usually have in my regular office set up at home. I think I did it slowly but surely. I think first I was just working off a laptop. Then I finally brought home my one screen with the computer, and then I was like, I just got to go all in now. So I'm all in at home, man.
Nice, man.
I'm settled. I'm settled. I'm working comfortably from, my own corner in my house. My wife is working from home as well, and staying connected with students and our staff. And one thing, I don't know if since the last time we talked, we were talking about my study abroad programs that we were working on. Obviously, they were all canceled, so now we're working on developing new programs for next year, and most of them were moving to a virtual format. So I just feel like things have just sort of been evolving. Whether it be moving study abroad programs to virtual or changing the way we serve students, not just in person, but now on Zoom and through email. So everything is sort of transitioned now, and I feel like at least I feel like I'm finally getting settled to a certain degree and how this will work for the time being. And, even seeing some things that we could use in the future too, even after we go back to being in person.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely feel you on the transition part. I mean, working from home is definitely something different. So So that's really good to hear. I mean, I got a haircut finally, as you know. I think the last time we spoke, I didn't have any hair, and now I have hair. So it was it was a matter of time before that happened. Um, but I definitely feel you on the differences of serving students. Do you think that those study abroad programs, they're going to evolve like vastly because of the shelter in place, or do you think that we will be able to, transition back to being in person again, or do you just seeing it staying stagnant until we have further notice? Like, what do you see for your programs? I know we were heavily talking about it last interview.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing for the most part is people are hoping and planning to resume study abroad in summer of 2021. We tentatively have 8 programs that could possibly go, but we've set a deadline of around February 1st of next year to make that final decision. So if things by next February, for us at least, if they're not completely changed or travel warnings haven't been lifted and it seems safer to travel during that time, then we won't be doing summer programs. So we're sort of keeping hope alive for next summer. But I think realistically for us, we'll be fully back into study abroad probably 2022 will be when and maybe a program or 2 in the fall. But considering that we're already going to be fully online for the spring, I can't imagine that we're going to be sending, 80 or 90 students abroad in the summer. It just doesn't seem very realistic. So I don't know. Maybe we'll get one program off the ground next summer. If it's a country that, because part of it we're looking at also like if there's a quarantine factor in that country, or what are the current COVID situation in different countries. So it could be that maybe one of the countries that we're planning on doing is a lot safer to go, and so we'll end up doing one of the programs versus all 8. So we're just kind of playing it by ear right now.
Nice. So it's Peralta that they're going to be remote in this the next semester as well, I'm guessing, yes?
Yeah, technically we're hybrid. So we are accepting actually students to come from overseas in the spring, because we do have some in-person classes, mainly labs, and for our career and technical programs, we do have in-person instruction. So technically we can submit I-20s for students to come, but the majority of our classes and student services are going to continue to be online throughout the spring. And then
Okay.
I think they're going to announce in March if that will continue on for the fall or not. So a couple months before we're scheduled to, go back, I guess. And I believe there already is a transition plan, return to campus plan that's being, set up. So I don't know if when I return, I'll have plexiglass on my on my desk, and our welcome desk will probably be fitted with plexiglass, and it'll probably be a different experience.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I keep on imagining what it will be like at schools once we come back. I mean, I'm wondering if every desk or every table will have plexiglass around it, or we'll have to be 6 feet apart in a classroom situation. So it definitely is going to be something interesting, especially rest of state. We've already announced that we're going to be remote for the spring semester. So again, it's going to be interesting transitions all the way around, and this is again an interesting time. Again, compared to the last time we spoke, to how everything is now. So definitely. Let's see what else
Yeah.
has happened. What else is going on in the world before we dive into more international stuff? There's an NBA champion got crowned. That happened.
The Lakers. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Whatever.
yeah. They
And the Dodgers are close. The Dodgers are in the World Series, although this series is tied 1-1 now. I'm pulling for the Rays.
I'm pulling for the Rays as well. But again, I've been telling, being a Bay Area native, San Francisco native, avid Giants fan. I part of me, and I hope, whoever sees this, as a representative of San Francisco State and the alumni of San Francisco State, the Dodgers don't make me upset anymore. They don't really, again, they don't irk me as much as I was maybe as an alumni or students, because,
Hmm.
and I feel like, they've given me so much. I mean, two of my best days, that I can say I've experienced are watching the Dodgers lose the World Series at home. I mean, those are some great, those are some great moments. First, I think first Boston, no, first the Astros, I think, and then Boston. I think, I mean,
Hmm.
who
Hmm.
who can be ever upset? And then, I was, recruiting around this time last year in Southern California, and I was very fortunate to be able to go to Dodger Stadium and watch the Nationals eliminate the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. And those are some great moments. I can't really complain there. I can't really complain. Um, Also, Drew, just to let you know, you're kind of breaking up. Okay, so I'm just letting you know, Drew. There's a little bit of a delay. Um, uh,
Is that better now?
okay, perfect. You're back. You're
Is
back.
that
You're
better?
back.
All right.
A
All
little
right.
better. Just letting you
I
know.
was get.
Okay.
I was gonna say. I guess if we're gonna give LA a championship, especially for the Lakers, we'll give it this year in memory of the great number 24/8.
Yeah, I mean, right? I mean, if any team won the NBA championship in a bubble, I think the Lakers. They had the squad. They had the squad to do it. I mean, they had the All-Star team from 2008 out there. So,
Mm-hmm.
if
Mm-hmm.
you in 2000 around 2008 to 2012, I mean, you had waves of JaVale McGee, Rajon Rondos, Dwight Howards. I mean, on paper they were stacked. I mean,
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, he definitely looked like he was gassed at the end of that series for sure.
Yeah. He was having to carry that team. Although, man, Miami has a bright future though with that kid Hero.
Mm.
I like him, man. I didn't realize he was a rookie too, and he was
Hmm.
balling with confidence out there.
He was. But then, I will also say the one thing they had that no other team had was the one guy in the series that went to six straight NBA finals. And that's Andre Iguodala. I mean, people forget that he went to six NBA finals and played in all six of them. Five with,
Championship experience,
yep.
man.
And he all he did was play D, and he let the rookies kind of run wild, and they were able to get that experience. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be the powerhouse in the West or in the East coming out next year, but we'll see.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you still got Boston,
Hmm.
who will be good.
We'll see.
Um,
We'll see if the 76ers can ever figure it out.
yeah,
I mean,
although I heard a rumor about Westbrook being traded to the East, maybe the Knicks uh, or even the
but
Sixers. I heard were thrown out there, but
for Westbrook, I don't think he's the type of player that will go win you a championship, but he'll take you to the playoffs.
yeah, yeah, kind of like the Rockets this year, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, they made it to the playoffs, had a nice run. They had some studs, but then when comes playoff time, they're not a playoff team, man. They don't have that resilience to make it through.
Where do you see the Warriors next year? Do you see them being a true contender for a championship? Playoffs? I'd say playoffs are probably almost should be a shoe in, but how far do you expect, or what should be the expectations that we have for the Warriors?
Personally, I think it all depends on what they do with that number two pick. There's a lot of I think the Warriors have a lot of draft capital, now into the future, and depending on what they do there, whether they stick with the picks or go make a move, I think that's going to depend on whether or not they're going to be a true contender, a playoff team, or just a middle of the pack team. I mean, there's
Hmm.
still guys coming off injuries. Draymond, he's coming off another season. Clay is again, he's coming off an injury. Steph's coming off an injury. Uh, is Wiggins our true number four? I'm not really sure if he is, or true number three. I'm not sure if he's that true number three. But at the same time, if Giannis walks through the building, next year, I mean, definite contenders.
I would package that number 2 pick and maybe even a Draymond Green for someone. I
I
think someone
mean,
would go for that.
yeah, it's very possible. It's very possible. Again, I definitely want to see what the Warriors do with that pick. And again, I mean, I think whatever impact that is, it will be good for both of us because all our students out there that love basketball, and a lot of students do love basketball. The Warriors Arena is like right down the street from SF State and across the bridge from Peralta Community College School District,
It's
District
right
Office.
there now,
So,
man. And
you know,
you made it to Chase last year, right?
I
Before they
did, I
closed it.
did, I did, and it was a good year to go because in a down year where tickets went from really ballooned up, really expensive to really, really affordable. It was a really great experience. I will say that nothing beats Roracle. I mean, I had so many great experiences there, um, but Chase Center is something is a spectacle to check out for sure. It almost feels like you're walking into a hotel.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to revitalize that area down there for sure.
Definitely, definitely, and hopefully, in the past we've had SF State night, so it's definitely promotes student interaction with the Dubs, and I believe we've had students actually intern with them as well in the past, depending on different areas of marketing or kinesiology. But I think it definitely will be it's going to be a fun when we get off the ground and everyone can go back to the stadiums again.
Seriously, man. Yeah, we've partnered with the Warriors for several years, um, and we've been using it as a fundraiser for our study abroad programs. Um, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to get back to that. We've had several nights out where we would have groups of 20, sometimes up to 30 people who would be in the stands together, and we would use it as a fundraising opportunity to send students abroad. So I'm hoping things like that, we'll be able to get back to doing that soon.
Yeah, I mean, and then also again, it helps. I think it helps definitely with international students making that transition from their home country or the community college to the Bay Area. And I think that going to collaborations like the ones that Peralta Community College School District and your office does, and also participating in like SF State nights, it definitely gives an opportunity for them to kind of be one. I think take in the culture. Two, also having a smooth transition in the Bay Area as well. It's always, and plus, how can you not root for Steph Curry and Klay Thompson? I mean, how do you not root for these guys? Like,
Well, we'll just bring back the Warriors' old slogan. You remember what it was back in the 2000s, the early 2000s, when we were terrible, and
which one was it? We
and
Believe, or was it the one before it?
even before we believe, when the only thing that they could promote was that going to the Warriors game was a
Great
great.
timeout. A great timeout. Yep, it was a great timeout.
That's it. Hey, we may not win, may not be a great team, but it's going to be a great timeout.
Yep, it's a great. It was. It was a great timeout. I mean, that was when the Warriors. You know, for those folks who are watching a long, long time ago, again, the galaxy far away, you were able to get Warriors tickets on the back of milk cartons, cereal boxes. You could even sign up with your local library.
$5. You would be able
Yep.
to show up to a game. I think me, my buddy Chris, and his buddy Reggie, we showed up to a game. We got off on the BART. There was a guy selling 3 tickets. It was a Denver Nuggets game. This is when Carmelo was playing for the Nuggets, I think.
Oh, nice.
So this is way back. Dude,
So we had
he sold
Monte.
us, I think it was Monte. I want to say he sold us 3 upper deck tickets for, it was like no more than $10 each. Because we got there a little bit late, so he was like, hey, I'm either going to sell these to you guys or I'm out. So he was trying to just get something out of them. And, yeah, we got in the game for like $10 or $7 or whatever it was. And it was a great timeout. We got whooped. I'm pretty sure we lost. But
I remember going to my one of my fondest memories is I I forget if it might have been Kobe and the Lakers. I might have seen Kobe play, and Antoine Jameson was going up against Kobe Bryant, and Kobe Bryant just destroyed us. But Antoine Jameson put up 40 points. I remember being so happy that Antoine Jameson put up like 40-something points. I was like,
oh my
yes,
gosh.
yes.
So okay, quick. I went to see the Lakers. This is when they had Kobe and Shaq. And I
Ooh.
went with my brother, and we got there really, really early, and we were able to hit. Because sometimes if you get there really early enough, and this is a tip for all you international students out there, get to the game early, watch the shoot
Mm-hmm.
arounds.
Watch the
So we
shoot
got
around.
there. We got there early enough to actually go down. And usually they have like a security guard there, but there wasn't a security. So we just like, hey, let's go down here and watch. We just wanted to be close just to watch shoot arounds, right? Because everybody was just standing up. No one was in their seats yet. And we literally, because it was a sold out game. I mean, this was Kobe and Shaq at their prime. So
Mm.
that was the only games that the Warriors would actually sell out. Me and my brother took these 2 seats that were down there. We were like, hey, let's just sit here until someone comes. Literally the whole game. It was the only 2 seats that no one came down. And we watched pretty much the whole game from like the 15th row. It was like these
Wow.
corner seats. I don't know how it happened because it was a sellout game. So, of course, the only problem was we had to stay there the whole game because we couldn't leave the seats because if we would have left, they would have
You
checked
want to
our,
get back?
no.
You would never get back.
So my brother, we're like, I got to go to the bathroom. Dude, you can't leave. You can't leave, man.
Sometimes
That,
but sometimes it happens like that, man. Sometimes you just luck out, and next thing you know, bam! It's Kobe
oh,
and Shaq. Like,
I was at another game. I was up in the upper deck, and a buddy of mine who has season tickets, and they're like down at the bottom, literally like the 4th row. And this is the closest I've ever sat. It was a Kings game, and he goes, "Hey, we're leaving. Do you want to take our seats?" And I was like, "Heck, yes, I do." Dude, literally, we went from the upper deck. We went down. We were in the 4th row.
wow.
That's the closest I've ever gotten to courtside, and it's a completely different game down there, man. Like,
Oh, it is. The closest I've ever gotten is the 10th row. That's the closest I ever got at Oracle. And I think they were playing against like the Suns, KJ and the Suns when I was in high school.
nice. I love KJ.
It was at the end of KJ. I was a kid. I was like, how are we here? It was something different. And I think later on, like the closest I got was maybe in the 20th row, but like went before like the recent runs against. But I got to see the Orlando Magic play, the Dwight Howard Orlando Magic, and
Nice.
the Warriors lost, but it was a great time out either way. So we
Hedo
have a question.
Turkoglu.
Oh, he do. Oh, man, JJ Redick at his prime right there. Yeah, that was JJ Redick. So the question is, do you have partnerships with the Sharks? Um,
That's a great
we
question.
that's a great question. At San Francisco State, we actually don't have that many partnerships with the Sharks. Maybe we could. I mean, I could definitely check up on that to see if we uh, we can start a partnership with the Sharks. I mean, recently we did a event in Canada with college track and for Canadian athletes, and we did a presentation with athletics about Canadian athletes, and I think it'd be good to have partnerships with the Sharks. They didn't do that well last year, but I'm sure the tickets will be very cheap once the tank opens up again. How about Peralta? Do they have?
I'll be honest. I have never been to a San Jose Sharks game. I heard hockey games are awesome to go to, though, and you have to
Oh,
kind of be there in person. I used to go to roller hockey games, though, back in the day. Do you remember the Oakland Skates?
yeah, yeah, I do. I do,
The
man.
Oakland Skates, and it was hockey, but they were playing on rollerblades,
Yep.
and it was
Hmm.
Oracle. It wasn't Oracle back then. It was whatever, the Oakland Coliseum.
We had this.
And
I think we had the spiders in the San Francisco this area. The spiders, or yeah, it's the
no,
ninjas, or there's
it was the
something. We had
Skates. Well, our team was the
no on
Skates.
this side in the San Francisco
Oh, you
San Jose
did?
side.
Oh, they had a San Francisco Spiders or something?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I should look that up, but
Yeah. But I heard hockey tickets can be harder to get even than basketball tickets.
no, that's not true. Not the way that
No.
not the way the Sharks are playing. I'll tell you that. Maybe when the Sharks were going to playoff, when they went to the Stanley Cup against the Penguins, the tickets were really because really tough because they were really good that season. This last couple seasons, not so great. The Sharks. I went to San Jose State for my master's degree, and I used to go to a lot of Sharks games. And the Sharks are infamous for blowing everyone out during the season and losing in the first round. So they were really good. I mean, I went to a couple Sharks games before shelter in place. but the Sharks somehow they find a way to lose, man. They find a way to lose. I mean,
Kind of
they
like
have
the Oakland A's, huh?
yeah, yeah, it's kind of like the A. So just letting everyone know out there, Canadian, students or international students, Shark tickets are attainable because we are not that great this year or last year, and I still have my Burns jersey, and they have definitely really good promo nights in San Jose at the Shark Tanks. Throwing it out there.
My favorite player back in the day was Mike Ricci.
Ooh, okay.
Remember him?
Ricci. Yes. I like when I think the Sharks had Chichu. That was my guy. Um, or Nabokov. Nabokov was really good for a
Yeah,
little bit. I
he was
like
their
Nabokov.
goalie, right? Wasn't he a
Yep, the
goalie?
goalie. The goalie
Yeah,
for
yeah.
he was stable, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, goals just started flying into the net. It's like, what's happening here? Definitely love. I love Thornton. He's a stable. Burns right now is my favorite. I have his jersey. When I go to the games, I rock out there. When they got rid of Pavelski, Joe the Cap.
Mm.
That was hard. That was hard on. I feel like everyone who likes the Sharks, but definitely it's a great that's also a great timeout. So
Hey
that's where they are
Tino,
now.
can you share about the athletic event in Canada and what that was all about, or is that I don't
Definitely,
know how much
definitely,
information you can give, but I'm interested about it.
definitely. So it's a group called College Track. Izzy, my colleague, he ended up making the connection with the company. It was a free event, and pretty much they threw a week-long event. It's actually still going on now, I believe. And how it was set up was what the goal of the event was to get schools from the United States, Division One, Two, and Three, and I think private schools as well, to present to coaches, um, student athletes, parents, and maybe school counselors about the athletic programs that they offer at each school that participated. So it was more of a panel style compared to a fair. We had let's see who came. We had four representatives from SF State. I myself did more of the admission side, and I did a quick presentation on admissions requirements. We also had a representative from athletics. My colleague Jamil, he came in and he's the game day coordinator, and so he got to speak on behalf of athletics. We got an alumni, a student athlete who was also an international student as well. He came and spoke, and then also one of the assistant soccer coaches came out and spoke as well. And it was pretty much more of a panel question answer. And it was more being moderated by the staff of College Track, but for the most part, I think it was a good opportunity, to promote to all of our student athletes in Canada and just kind of get our word out about our athletics. I mean, I'm an ex-student athlete myself. I was a baseball player and I played ball for a little bit at state. Yeah, it was again a good experience to kind of like promote our athletes because I know in the Peralta Community College School District, you have a good amount of athletes as well over there that were international. Yes.
Yeah, we had a couple of international students that were playing football last year, American football.
Mm,
Um, and as you know, we were the featured school on Last Chance U.
yep. Oh yeah, I heard you were.
Um,
Is it true that you were on Last Chance
oh
U?
man,
Did you
dude,
make the cut?
they cut me out, man.
Oh,
They cut my part out. I was showing a group of international students, and maybe it was because they weren't football players; they were baseball players.
no.
Uh, Prospective students that wanted to come and play baseball from Japan. We were walking around the campus, and we ran into Coach Beam, the athletic director and the head football coach. And we have a good relationship. So I was like, "Hey, Coach, can you come over and just talk to these students for a quick second?" He was super generous. Came over, was like, "Hey guys, welcome to campus." Next thing I know, there's like 12 cameras right in our face. And I'm like, "What in the world?" And then so we're just talking to Coach, and I thought it would just be like a little. Maybe they'll put it in there as just some background, like here's the coach talking to students or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and then they chased us down afterwards. The people who were filming chased us down, had to sign waivers and hold our picture up or hold the waiver up. They took our pictures, and I was like, "Oh, this is hey, maybe we're in."
Oh,
And then
nice.
nope, we got cut.
Ah,
But
man. But
yeah,
you at
so
least you were filmed though. You at least they filmed
we're
you.
we're in the director's cut.
You know the
uh, yeah, we had two players that were playing from Australia.
Okay.
No, I take that back. One player from Australia was on the football team. Another player from Australia was on the baseball team. And then we had two players from Japan that were on the baseball team. And so there was actually just one of our Japanese baseball players actually just came back to the U.S., I want to say like 2 weeks ago. He went home during COVID when everything shut down in March or April. He's been at home, and then we just were able to open the baseball field back up for practicing. So they're actually meeting in person and doing practices. So he just came back like 2-3 weeks ago. I signed his I-20. He made it back, and he's back practicing with the team again. Nice. I don't know what they're going to do with the season or not, but it was good to see one of our international students make his way back.
Oh, nice. I mean, if he's ever interested in playing baseball in San Francisco, please let me know. Now that we have a contact in athletics, and we do have a baseball team, Division II.
Yeah, we got. Well, let's keep our partnership going here. Yeah, because we have one more student that's supposed to be transferring from community college in Merced. I guess it's just Merced College.
Mm-hmm.
So he's planning on coming. He's going to be here in the spring. So in the spring, we should have two players officially from Japan that are back on the baseball team. And then we've been working with a partner in Korea as well to bring some players over. That hasn't panned out yet. Sort of a new partnership. And they did some sort of online clinic this past, I think, like a couple of weeks ago. But I'm not sure if any of our coaches were able to join that. But I think because all the coaches right now are really just, I don't know if everyone's like so focused on how do we get new students, but how do we take care of our current students right now, especially the baseball and our athletes, because they're having to transition everything to online. Like the baseball coaches are having to figure out how to teach classes online now as well, where everything used to be in person, but now they have to teach. If there isn't a class they can do physically on the field, if it's more like a, I don't know, fitness awareness or health awareness classes or those types of things, they're not meeting in classrooms, so they have to do those things online. But if it's like a class where conditioning, or they're out in the field running around and there's space and there's distance, and they're still able to get out there. But so I think everybody's just kind of sort of been just slowly readjusting. And so, but yeah, man, right across the street from my office, man. I've always taken that for granted that we have that baseball field and football field there. And I know you guys at SF State have awesome facilities, so I can't wait till hopefully you guys are able to open up. I don't know. Have you heard anything about your gym or the rec center or anything about that being reopened? Or
as of now, I mean, I haven't heard back in terms of the gym itself. I mean, being that we're going to be remote in the springtime, I'm thinking that it's going to stay closed until the time being. In terms of our student athletes, I mean, I haven't heard back if they're starting practices or not. I mean, I haven't really. I could have checked in. I should have checked in a little more with our athletic department to see what we're doing there. But as of now, I mean, because we're going to be again remote for the springtime, it's kind of still kind of on hiatus in terms of what we're going to do next with athletics. I actually, and creating that partnership with athletics, I definitely think that a lot of international students would have some great opportunities to play sports in San Francisco. So yeah, I mean, the one thing I wish we had was a American football team, but our soccer team does really well. So that's what works out for us. My question to you, Drew, was the student from Australia on the football team, American football team. Is he a punter? Is that what he is, or what position does he play? That's something of curiosity I have. All right, folks. While Drew is relocating, I want to thank everyone who's popping in, saying hello. This is International Talks with Tino with my guest, Drew Gepharts, administrator from the Peralta Community College School District. Yeah, thanks everyone for joining. I hope everyone is well. While my awesome while my awesome guest is relocating and connection is reconnecting,
You
yeah,
see,
I just want to thank everyone for joining us and for hanging out. And, oh, Drew's almost back, but when he gets back again, oh, there you are. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I can see you. You're back.
sorry, man. My son in my backyard was just blaring in my face this whole time, so I had to move back to the front. But no, I was
But
gonna
you know,
say
but you,
our
but,
punter.
no, no, no. So the quick question I had was, is your Australian international student, the Australian football player, American football player, is he a kicker?
Yes, he was a punter, and apparently
Ooh,
a really good one. He just got a full ride scholarship to go play at Fresno State,
nice.
so he's gonna be a Bulldog. Um, yeah, and actually, if you check out the and I'll do a little plug, International Conversations podcast. You can go back and listen to a previous episode with me and Tino, where we talked
Oh,
about his
hey.
experience playing baseball in the Philippines. But I did an interview with Josh. Josh Green is the player who was playing football. We did an interview on International Conversations during this time, and he shared about his experience, talked a little bit about being filmed on Last Chance U. Um, but yeah, if you go back and check that out, we have an Instagram now for International Conversations as well. So if you're watching this, go ahead and follow our Instagram page, International Conversations.
Oh,
But but yeah, but yeah, he's apparently a really good punter, and he was a good guy, man. I miss him. We were developing a little bit of friendship too. So uh, that's the hard thing about community college, and even you probably know this too, Tino, is
mm,
you only really get to meet and be with students for a couple years, and then they're gone. So as soon as you start to build some real closeness in the friendship or the connection, then they're gone. So that's where we need to develop more alumni connections and stay in touch with students. That's an area that, you know, I don't know
definitely, definitely.
how you
You know,
guys do with that, but
we try to definitely keep in touch with our alumni, but I definitely agree with you. I mean, recently, two of your previous alumni were on my International Talk to Tino segment. We had Wayne, and we also had Aldane that were on International Talks, and they brought some really great content. I think Wayne, he's definitely doing big things. One for his internships, for his village in Kenya, along with great partnerships in general. And he has, when he's like I told him, and Wayne, if you're watching this, when you become a doctor, remember your first interview was International Talks with Tino. So remember we interviewed you first. And with Aldane, he might be just the next music mogul out there. I mean, he's really in depth in the music field. He's always turning me on to the next jams that are coming out of Jamaica, and he's really involved as well. So I mean, both gentlemen definitely brought great content. Both out of the Peralta Community College School District, and I hope to read about them in magazines probably someday. So yeah. So
nice.
and like you said, I'm so happy for them that they're almost graduated, but it's sad to see them go. Like it's like, oh, I wish they could hang out a little bit longer, or we had more time. Because we're in shelter in place, we don't get to kind of be physically in the same space. But again, I'm so happy for them and their careers and whatnot. But it's gonna be sad. It's gonna be sad watching them go for sure.
I know, man. I know. Well, Tino, I gotta head out, buddy. I gotta get
All right.
back to the office inside.
Well, thank you so much, Drew, for hanging out with us. And I hope to see you soon. And yeah, again, thank you for coming on the second time.
Hey, it's a pleasure, man. Any time for you, Tino.
So everyone, again, thank you for tuning in. Again, this is my good friend and colleague, Drew Gepharts. If you have any, if you're looking for any programs out there or know anyone that wants to go the community college route, definitely Peralta Community College School District, 2SF State. We're great partners and we work well. The filters? We're putting the filters back on?
Hey, it's Halloween, I guess. There we go. Halloween filter?
How are you getting these filters? Where are they? Oh, got it. I think we did this last time.
Yeah, it's. Oh, there you go, Tino.
I don't know what this is the Halloween one. Where's the Halloween ones?
I don't
They're.
know.
Oh, look, I'm blooming.
This one. Oh gosh.
Oh, there's a guy in the background.
Oh my gosh! Look at my face. Oh
The funniest thing is that, like, growing up, we did not have all this.
no!
Imagine if I was like this for the whole interview. Like, hello, Drew.
Or this one right here. This would be too much.
You know, I might have a, I might just.
Oh.
Okay, enough. Too many things. Too much is going on. Too much is going on.
Now I got hearts in my head. All right. Be here all day, man.
This is definitely true. But again, you know, thank you, Drew, for tuning in. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Hope you have a blessed weekend. And again, if you're looking at a good partnership along with the community college system that is partnered up with one of the CSUs in the area, you know, hit up Drew, a great partner of ours, a good friend, and you know, man, have a great weekend.
All right, buddy. Take care, man. I'll catch up with you soon.
All right. Have a good one.
Peace.